Hello friends and fans of Rising World. Today is the big day. We're going to do the house move. I have the structure as complete as I want to get it for right now. Still lots and lots to be done, but because I did do some experimenting and ran into the aforementioned glitch in which large structures do not copy everything into the blueprint, I have found that I am going to need to do it in 2 stages. And instead of the way I might have mentioned in a previous video about splitting it on the horizontal along the lines of the floors, I have actually just serendipitously in my experiment discovered that it separated itself vertically right in a very good spot for moving it. And here are my 2 experiments. This was the very first one, and it looks normal from this side, but let's go around the back. Or no, maybe this is the one I actually married up. Yes, this is the complete building. So this was the one that I first did, but then discovered that it only picked up part of the building. And I can show you that. But this is the second half that I pasted on together, and I didn't remove the trees or anything, which is exactly why I prepared my original building spot, because I didn't want trees in it or sitting on water. But this is what happened when I made the blueprint. Now this one was the second try, and it actually split in a spot that really was not good. The first try split right in the middle of a double wall, so it was perfect. Very easy to marry up the 2 pieces. This one I am not using. So what I have done is I do have the blueprints. We are going to leave this world behind. This was a great place to do our construction, experimentation, and the building of the structure. But we are going to leave this world behind and go to the world that I've selected to be the final resting place of Wollaton Hall. I was going to choose the seed that I got from the Radio Man 03, a fellow YouTuber. And if you haven't followed his channel, I really recommend it. It's a great deal of fun, and he's very funny, and he does play Rising World in addition to several other survival type games. He really likes the survival games. He plays in survival mode completely, whereas I am not a purist. And I am currently playing in creative because I enjoy the creative aspect. I also enjoy the survival mode. And the world that we're going to go use for this build is a survival world, but we're going to change it temporarily to creative so that we can continue this build without too much effort. And then when we get it to a point where I'm ready to go back to the survival mode and do the mining and all of that in addition to the building, then I will do that. The place I've selected is really wonderful, and it was my very first survival world. I do have a small settlement in another part of that world, and my plan is to someday make a road that connects the 2. The sites are quite a distance apart. So without further ado, I'm going to take you over to that world, and when we come back, you'll see the new site. Okay, here we are. This is the spot. It may not look like much, but believe me, there are some hidden treasures here. So X doesn't mark the spot, but a torch does. I have flown all over this world looking for the perfect spot, and this is about as perfect as I could find. I was looking for rolling hills, grasslands, and something that more closely resembled the Midlands in England than a rising world does. Now, England doesn't have any vertical mountains like that, and I am going to do a little bit of terraforming to not remove the mountains, but to just round them off a little bit so that they look a little more realistic. But the reason I picked this spot, aside from the fact that there is a good expanse of rolling grasslands, which we need for the large deer park that happens to be part of Wollaton, there is also something that I really, really like here. And there is not something like this in the Midlands in England, but we have something lovely here. We have a series of small lakes and ponds. There is a pond on the grounds of Wollaton Hall. The deer park does have a very large pond, but it is a man-made pond. What it does not have is a huge lake. And there is a huge, huge lake here. You can see that there is kind of a headland here. And Wollaton is on an elevated hill. It is not a steep or high hill, but it is an elevated ridge. What it doesn't have is this. But, you know, this is really lovely. And I can see where, when we get past the building of Wollaton, that a small fishing village would be really wonderful right here. I could see maybe a little bridge, a little rickety walking bridge, and a series of maybe fishing cottages out here on this island, and a little dock, and some cottages here. And, you know, the seashore just goes on, and it's not a sea. It is freshwater, which is also good. But, you know, there are oars and things around here, and the seashore just goes on, and I can see, you know, little houses and things dotting the seashore or the lake shore, because that would be where people would build. And then up here, of course, is the manor house. So, this is the spot. And I've determined this really is where I want it to go. The house does need to face north, so I've looked to see, and due north is really just like right between those two trees. So I'm going to leave those trees there for me to orient myself. These other ones are going to need to come out. So what I thought I would do first is a bit of terraforming to just flatten out the section that I need for the house itself. So I think what I'm going to do is first just chop down these trees. Look, there's two trees right together there, a cherry and a willow. Let's see if I have an axe. I do. Let's do some chopping. Oh, and it looks like I need some water too. I am in survival mode at the moment. So we're going to chop down this tree. Oops, need to stop flying to do this. And one of the things about this tall grass is that it's very hard to find. There they are. I do want a willow sapling. Willows are cool. All right, and I definitely want this cherry sapling. Where, oh, where did you go? Jerry Zeppelin, you must be here. There you are. Another one, maybe? No? Okay, well, we got one. Now, I think if you chop something down over there in those yellow flowers, and it's going to be next to impossible to find it. I'm not sure if these are supposed to be mustard flowers or maybe rapeseed or what they are, but boy, they are thick and tall. Of course, we're only about 3 feet tall ourselves, apparently. According to the POV, when you're walking around with your character, it really does look like you're about 3 feet tall. Which I kind of hope they address, because even I am not 3 feet tall. Okay, so here's the spot. It's pretty much in the middle of the house, and it looks like I might have to cut down 1 or 2 more trees. But what we're going to do is we're going to change the game type. So set game type 1, and I believe that's the correct. Yes, creative game mode has been enabled. All right. So we're in creative now. And what that will do is give us access to terraforming. I'm not sure if that's available in survival or not. I don't think that it is. So what I want to do is I want to flatten this area to a level. So if I enable grid and make it bigger. I don't know how big you can go with this. Let's just see. Okay, so that's the limits. And I think I want to fly for this, so I can see a little more. All right, so that's a pretty good sized area. And I know that due north is, I can't use the compass while I'm doing this. Okay, so due north is that way. If I push plus or minus, that enlarges it. Up or down? Oh no, I have to push G. No? I haven't done this much, and I can't remember how you show the level. Maybe I'm too far up. Well, that smooths it. Not very effectively, but I would like to use the grid that shows the all right. I might have to go looking for a tutorial because I'm not remembering the correct keys for the, there's a grid that will show you the level. I'm not finding the correct key for that. Page up and page down doesn't seem to do anything. Let's make this smaller. Okay, so that goes up. Oh, well, that's weird. Well, I really need to see the level. Where do I see that? Shift? No. that's bigger. Page up, page down doesn't work. And the up and down arrows don't work. So what am I missing here? Oh. Add and subtract. Resize the selector. G to change the shape. Return. Enable the flattening tool. And then I can't see what's the bottom there, which it might be exactly where the instructions are. Well, that obviously took it down. So what's 2 would smooth, right? So smooth is good, but not really what I had in mind. All right, well, I'm going to be right back. I do need to go and find out how to get the grid because I've done it before. All right, I'm back. Silly me. The one key I didn't try was Enter. That gets you the grid. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that the key commands for this game are very inconsistent and non-intuitive. Page up and page down makes sense. Left and right, up and down makes sense. But some of the other things, I mean, the fact that they're using, very few keys to do a lot of different things makes it rather confusing. And I find the key commands to be very inconsistent with this game. So if they were going to work on something in the future, it might be to try and get the key commands to be a little more consistent because they're just not. But anyway, Enter. Enter is the key we want. So we're going to go F5. That gets us our levels again, and I'm going to make this bigger, as big as I can make it. And in order to get that grid again, you hit Enter. That gives us the levels grid, and that shows us where it is. And right now it's just on the level of where the ground is. Actually, it's on the level that we last used it at, I guess. So what we want to do is we want to go down because we went up. So let's go down. In fact, let's just do it right in this section, and we're going to go down a couple more blocks. Or what I assume is a couple more blocks. So that makes it invisible. We can't really see where it is. It looks like it's at the grass level there, or where the original level was. Let's go down a couple more clicks. I'm assuming that that is a block's depth, but I'm just not sure. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And go down one more time. Okay, so let's do that all the way around. You can take that grass out, but let's do that over here. And go down again. I guess maybe I'm going to need to measure this somehow as far as how far down we are, because I'm just not sure. I'd like it to be level. It doesn't look like it is. And it kind of looks like we're right where the ground was. No, we're definitely down from where we were. Now, when we put the building in, you know, it's going to, we're going to need to build up around it, which is why I kind of want to go down a little bit more. Let's do that right there. And right here. We shall see if this is going to be enough space. You can always make it a little bigger. It's easy to add stuff back. Looks like this side was a little higher, wasn't it? Originally. And before I put the house in, I'm going to get rid of all this excess vegetation that's floating around. I think that'll be enough. I think that should be enough space. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. All right, so, oh, I needed to, I'm going to paint everything with dirt. Dirt, just so we have a clean slate. Landscaping is easy, so we can always add more plant material, which we will do, of course. There are gardens. All right, good enough. So let's get rid of this stuff, and let's use the pick because I don't want any of this stuff. Whoops, don't throw the pick. How many of you do that? I'm really, really bad about it. Okay, we have sunlight. Yay. Let us make a blueprint. Item. Blueprint 2. Alrighty. We go over here because this is where we're going to put our house. Stand up on this high piece of dirt. Look at our big empty expanse. Goat, if I were you, I would leave. Okay. J. Blueprints. Wollaton Hall 1. Okay, that's the front door side, I hope. Maybe. It may not be. The only way I'm going to find out, I think this is the south side, so we need to turn it around. Let's just, yeah, that would be the north side over there because I can see the front door. So let's go over here and put it down this away, but we are still going to need to rotate it because I did have it facing the wrong direction in my previous world. So we're going to go left click, and then we're going to use the shift arrow keys left and right. That's 1, that's 2, that turns it all the way around, and goat. You're about to become ensconced in the house. And it needs to go back. Oh boy, did I make this hole big enough? We're going to find out. It may not be big enough. You may need to make it bigger. That's a good spot for that. Let's just check it over here. And it looks like it could come this way. Whoops. All right. And is there enough room back here? Oh yes, there's plenty, I think. Let's go back one step. All right, so are we happy with that spot? And see, what I was telling you is, see, it's right in the middle of that wall, which is just perfect and easy to align. And my stairs made it, although the wall surrounding it is not in this piece. There's maybe a little bit of repair that I'll have to do. This part isn't actually as scary as I thought it would be. Oh, and look, from the prospect room, we'll have a wonderful view of a few feet of lake. This is awesome. Awesome. Deep breath, deep breath. And we right click. Yay! Yes, indeedy. I think that is it. Well, there's the front half of Wollaton Hall, facing due north. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, why they made a house that faces due north, I don't know. Why they made a house with this many windows in England, I don't know. It's weird. And look, our fireplace is glowing. Okay, so second piece. South side, Wollaton Hall, south side. That is the one I want. And there she is. There she is. Dun, da, da, da. Now I just need to turn it around and get it aligned. So left click and shift to rotate, and then the alignment, which is not as difficult as it might look. So, oh, we're almost aligned. I think it needs to go like maybe one block over. Nope. Well, how lucky was that? We got it on the first try. Let's just actually fly inside, which you can do, amazingly enough. Everything looks to be aligned, but looks like we've got... No, everything does look to be aligned. Yeah, that doorway lines up. This all lines up. Okay. And good, it starts raining just as we get the other half on. And right click. Lordy, lordy. Let's go inside. Okay. Yeah, there may be a few little repairs that we'll have to do here and there. This looks a bit odd, but and as you see, I did lose my my brick and smoke pattern that was in there, and I lost my marble columns, my carved columns. But that was to be expected. My chest came along. Good, I needed one, but there's nothing in it. So you do get to keep your chests, but you don't get to keep the stuff in them. But that's okay. I can now put all of my extra junk in there. I'm going to make some bigger chests too. It looks like everything is intact, and I'm very happy about that. What kind of a view do we have from up here? It'd be nice if we knew, but we can't see because of the rain. From the east gallery, we should have a nice view of the lake, if we could only see it. Isn't this much nicer than that flat spot we were at before? I mean, it just looks more natural and pretty. This is the little covering that I did for the spiral stair. And there's the spiral stair. I'm going to go on up. The very difficult to walk spiral stair because it is so narrow. The very, very difficult spiral stair. And out into the prospect room. And of course, we can't see a darn thing because now that it has rained, we have fog. And this doesn't look right, does it? Yeah, we're going to have to fix that. Did it work? It's not clear, it's foggy. Do you guys not know the difference between fog and clear? Looks like it's clearing up. Now, this is one block, and I'm standing here, and my sight level, if one block is 50 centimeters, or about 20 inches, then this next block should be 40 inches, and then my eye level is at about 43 inches. So yeah, I'm a dwarf, basically. Okay, now that's a view. It's too bad it doesn't extend a little further, but there we go. There's our view, our lake view. Let's check out the view in the other directions. Not bad. And the most unnatural mountains. Yeah, so if I round off the tops of these mountains a little bit and make them look more natural, maybe put a little snow on the top, I think that will look much better. But anyway, I'm going to give it a shot. I really wonder if that goat is still in the basement. Okay, we have done it, folks. We have moved the house. This will make you dizzy, huh? Oops. That needs to be fixed. That came off of here. I had a sloped piece that was sort of covering up the stairs up there. It covered up that spot right there. There will be a door here though, so it doesn't really matter that much. Yes, I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. And it looks like the house is mostly intact. No big problems that I can see. Okay. Let's have a look at it. Well, there she is. Wollaton Hall in her new home. What do you think? We did it. We did it. Now, see, the sun is on the other side, so this side is in shade. I'm curious, is the other side more brightly lit? Because that's one of the things that they haven't really done yet. We have light, but we don't seem to have directional light. So there's the sun shining on our house, and you would think, yes, it is a little bit more brightly lit on the south side. This is the side of the gardens. There are gardens on this side. So there's the side that is more brightly lit. And that's good, because the south side is where the gardens are, and so it should be more brightly lit. I'm very happy with that. And then over here, we have the cliffs that go down, or they're not cliffs really, it's kind of just sloping hills that go down to the lake. So it's quite pretty. I'm planning to put some trails down, possibly a waterfall. I haven't decided yet, but I'm liking it, even though we can only see a tower from here. So there you go, folks. We have moved the house. That's going to do it for us today. It is an enormous house, isn't it? It's really too bad that we get these very strange distortions. So it's moved, it's in a much nicer area, and we can continue to build on it. I'm gonna shut the video off now, and then I'm gonna get busy doing some building. I'm not gonna worry about the landscaping for quite a while, but I am going to now start putting the finishing touches on the outside. That's going to be what I'll concentrate on for the next week or so. Getting all of the embellishments on the outside, because there is quite a lot of them. And then we will move to the inside, and from then on, I mean, we'll do some on the inside, getting the decor in, and then we will move on to the gardens and the grounds. Wollaton today is, I believe, about 600 acres, and it is devoted to a deer park and a golf course, as well as gardens and just big open spaces. It's very, very pretty. We are not going to approximate the grounds in a realistic way at all, because we just do not have the land space to do so. However, my plan is to put some kind of a wall in at some point over that direction, and fence in some deer for a deer park. And then we are going to do some formal gardens out in here. There is also a big greenhouse where they have camellias. We don't have camellias in this game. We do have daisies. And we do have lemon trees. So we may do a sort of orangery that doesn't have oranges, but has lemon trees in it. I don't think the lemon trees get too awfully big. But we'll do some of that. There are some gorgeous, there's a gorgeous area with many different specimens of trees. And over that direction, there is a beautiful forest, and it does have bears and foxes, probably deer. So we're in the right area, and we will be doing considerably landscaping and putting in trees and really changing the way this area looks. So stay tuned. Next week we'll be doing some more building on the house, and we'll see where it goes from there. But anyway, thank you for watching, and if you've not subscribed and you'd like to follow the progress of the build, please do subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you liked seeing me futz around and get lost in trying to terraform this and move my big house. I thought it was fun, so please come back and see more. And that's all for today. Bye-bye.